Good morning students, I am T. Dubey. I am making this video for class 10 students who are going to sit for the board examination on 27th February 2023 or the coming month. In this class, I am going to do the analysis of the sample question paper 2022-23 issued by CBSE. I am more than sure that you must have solved this question paper, this sample question paper. But my purpose of doing the discussion of the sample question paper is not to solve it. My aim is to show you that there are some clues left by the question framer in each of the sections of your paper. And if you keep those clues in your mind, I am pretty sure that you will realize that your marks in English are improving within a matter of a week or 10 days hardly. So when you do your next practice or when you are going to take up a sample question paper, you solve the sample question paper keeping the steps, strategies, methods and shortcut clues that I am discussing in this video showing you the analysis of SQP 2022-23. So let me take you to the question paper, and I would suggest you to note down the methods, the approach that I am discussing, I repeat, in each and every question. So when you note down or make a notes of the entire discussion, it will be a long walk, an extensive walk. So note down everything on a good quality notebook, and when you practice next, you do the practice according to the strategies, the methods, the ideas that I am doing, I am showing in the analysis. So let me take you to the question paper. So this is sample question paper 2022-23, English language and literature, code number 184, class 10. Time allowed for you will be 3 hours and maximum marks will be 80. Let us have a quick reading of general instructions as well. Look at the first instruction. So you will be given 15 minutes prior reading time for question paper reading. And the question paper will contain 3 sections: reading, grammar and writing, and literature. You will have to attempt questions based on a specific instructions for each part. Now, look at section A, reading skills, which will give you 20 marks. I am going to show you how you can score 20 by 20 marks in hardly 12 to 15 minutes by understanding the clue words given by the question framer. And I would suggest you to work according to the analysis, the techniques that I am showing you in this discussion. This is the first passage in the sample question paper 2022-23. The highlighted part that you see on the passage are the keywords or key phrases that I have done for you. But I would advise you not to do it because you will not have the luxury of time in your examination hall. These keywords help you to understand what the passage tells you, but it is not to be done in the examination hall. The sentence that you can see at the end of the paragraph is a summary of each paragraph that I have done. But the important point is not here. Important point is how question is framed and what clue is left by the question framer so that you can easily understand
Now, when I am doing the analysis of the question, I believe that you have already read the passage and you have understood it. If you have not, please keep a print copy of the question paper and read it, and then you see the analysis. Remember, whenever a question setter sets question, then the question setter leaves some clue word or clue phrase in the question. If you understand that mark, that score is yours. For example, look at the first question. The first question reads, what does the writer say? Why does the writer say that mountains inspire awe in humans? At the end of this question, you are getting a paragraph, a clue that this question has been set on the first paragraph. The answer to this question is B, this option. Now, what is the clue in the question and how you can understand it? The clue in this question is mountains inspire awe in humans. This highlighted part is given in the first sentence of the passage. But interesting thing is, the option is not given directly. You will have to understand this option. And this option is given in the second line, and this is this. Actual is this. It means the answer is there, you have to just find it out. That's all. Now, look at the second question. Likewise, you will be getting some clue in the second. Look at the second question and let us understand it. Select the option that corresponds to the following relation. Again, the clue is you have to find out a relation between the statement that is given here and one of the options. Again, the writer gives you broad hint that this question, or you can find this clue in the first paragraph. The answer to this question is option D. Now, if you read the two statements carefully, you can easily understand the relation. Let me explain it in simpler language. The statement reads, the more incredible the mountains, the greater the thrill. That means, the more challenging or higher the mountain, the greater the happiness will be or greater the satisfaction will be. But at the same time, you have to understand that the risk involved will also be greater, and that is why the heavier the luggage, the higher the penalty will be the right answer. Now read the further things that I have written here. Look at question number 3, very easy to understand if you read the sentence very carefully. Select the option that displays what the writer projects. This phrase means, on the basis of reading this statement, you have to decide what opinion is writer forming or what is writer thinking. Very simple. You look at the word undoubtedly. If you remove doubt from any opinion, it becomes confidence, it becomes assurance, it becomes conviction, and therefore your answer is conviction. Now in question number 4 also, it's very easy to understand because the writer has already given you the reason. That if the reason is best experienced rather than described, then find out the opinion. And what else can you get? You are getting a hint that you have to find this opinion from paragraph number 1. Very easy, very easy. And this opinion is given in line number 4. This is the word that I am highlighting. Sentence is, mountain climbing is an experience that is hard to put in words. It means difficult to describe. So you are getting 2-3 clues. If you work on the clues, you cannot miss a single mark. It's as easy as that. Now look at this question. Question number 5. The writer compares training to penance in the line, then comes the penance of the rigorous training. So already it's very simple that he's comparing training to penance, and you can get this training to penance in the second paragraph. So two clues are given in the question. What else do you need? So when you read the second paragraph, the writer is saying that training is required for remaining alive or for survival. So you have to simply put that similarity between training and penance is both are needed for survival or for remaining alive. That's all. Now look at question number 6. Question number 6 again, very easy. Based on your reading of the text, list 2 reasons why the writer says that mountaineering is not a sport that can be embraced without preparation. In simple word, why is training required? Same answer as you gave in earlier question. Training is required for survival, training is required for tackling or handling mountaineering equipment, training is required for decision making. So you are getting a number of reasons. Same question, 5 and 6, both questions are same. So what you need is to just carefully read the question. Answers are there in front of your eyes. Again, this question, question number 7. What connect does the writer draw out between unpredictable weather and setting up of camps? So easy to understand. So easy. If the weather is unpredictable, then it will affect the climber's decision. If it is sunny, then the climber will climb or scale the mountain, and if it is snowy or if it is raining, then he will prefer to set up the camps. So very simple, and moreover the question setter is leaving a very big hint. You don't have to read much. You have to find out that statement. What else do you need? Again, question number 8. The writer says a true mountaineer may challenge the mountain, yet is always respectful to the powerful forces of nature. Again, you have this statement is from third paragraph. Same thing, you don't have to do anything. You have to find out why. This is the clue. Respectful, why? Because he is surviving. If he is completing mountaineering or his climb successfully, so he of course should be thankful or grateful to the forces of nature because he is alive. Despite all the challenges, read here the instructions that I have, all the remaining details that I have written. Now look at question number 9. Question number 9 is also very easy. You don't have to do anything. The writer is telling you that you have to justify it. Remember, this is the very simple clue if you understand. Justify means what? You do not have to disagree with the question framer. You don't have to disapprove. You don't have to contradict. You have to say, yes, I agree. And what do you agree? While mountain climbing, an impulsive mountaineer. So you'll have to understand this word, impulsive. Impulsive means anyone who does anything without thinking. So that's all, and again it is given in para 4, line number 5, and this will be the answer. There is no room for rash or thoughtless actions in mountaineering. So very easy. And now again look at question number 10. Question number 10 again is, again, I think it's easy if you read the question carefully. He says, evaluate the inappropriate reason. Inappropriate reason for the feeling of exhilaration. The word exhilaration means great happiness. So of the 4 options given here, 3 are appropriate and 1 is inappropriate. The inappropriate one is this D option. Why? Because if a mountaineer climbs the mountain successfully, then of course he will have the feeling of achieving something impossible. Correct here. If he is standing at the top of the mountain, then he will have beautiful, spectacular view, beautiful scene. Correct, appropriate. And he has taken training to survive, and his training has worked. So application of the inculcated survival instincts. So at the end of the 10th question, I do believe that you must have understood that scoring 100% marks in passage is quite easy, provided you try to find out the clue left by the question framer. Revise this video, watch this video 2-3 times before I take you to the second passage. And I hope from the second passage itself, your thinking will change and your score too will change, of course. So let me take you to the second passage. Now, after we have understood that whenever a question framer frames a question or sets a question based on a passage, then he or she leaves 1, 2, 3, 4 clues in the question itself. And if you work on finding out the clue and relating it to the passage, then scoring 100% marks in section A, that is reading skills, will be a child's play for you. Anyone can do it. Now, I would also advise you to do practice of good questions as per the standard of the questions that you are seeing here. Because if you are practicing on questions of high level, then you can score 100% marks in language paper. Now, again, without wasting so much time on introduction, let me take you to the question. And again, I do believe that you have already read the passage. If you haven't read, then you can pause the video and read it and then come to the question. I am scrolling it a little slower so that you can get some time. So now this is the first question given on the second passage. And the question framer is asking, giving you again a very easy clue that infer one reason based on information in paragraph 1. And this is the information. The rate of tourism in northeast of India puzzles tourism officials. So the question framer asks you, why does the growth in tourism surprise tourism officials? Very easy. This clue is given in first paragraph, and this clue is this. Direct phrase is given, and this is, these states are lesser explored. So this is the reason why tourism officials feel surprised at growth in tourism in northeastern states of India. Very simple. Again, look at question number 2. Select the appropriate option to fill in the blanks. This is vocabulary based question. Again, not very difficult for a student who is going to take his or her board examination, because you are expected to have some understanding of the word, kind of words that are given in the question. If you do not have this kind of understanding, then your preparation is lacking somewhere. So from paragraph 1, we can infer that and of the northeastern states aid attracting the money rich and time poor tourists. So what qualities? Qualities, number 1, distinctiveness, and the second is diversity. So these two will be the answer. So it will be 1 and 3. Again, it is given in the first paragraph. The question setter has already given you a broad hint. I have given you the meanings of these words. Distinctiveness means speciality or uniqueness, and diversity means variety or distinction or diversiveness. So you can use this hint also. Now again, this is an RG based question, not very difficult to do. You must be doing a kind of child's play. Complete the following analogy correctly with a word or phrase from paragraph 1. Again, you just have to think a little. Aroma means fragrance or say good smell or pleasant smell that comes from cooking. So just like pleasant smell is integral to cooking, then hues and shades are integral to painting. And this is given in paragraph number 1, line number 2. Already the question framer has already given you that you can get this answer in the first paragraph. What else do you want? Now look at question number 4. Select the correct option to complete the following sentence. Travelers advocating the experience economy seek a holiday package with. So already this phrase is giving you the broader hint. Experience economy means what? You spend as much as and then you enjoy a lot. So if you pay attention to these two words, the answer will automatically come out. A wholesome experience, complete experience within the budget they have planned for. So it's all about understanding the clue. Now I have already given you the explanation also. You can take help by reading the. Now look at the graph. Select the chart that appropriately represents the trend of foreign tourist travels in Northeast from 2011 to 2014 as per paragraph 2. If you just carefully read the first 2-3 lines, you will find that from 2005 to 2014, the number of tourists that have been visiting the northeast states of India has been going up, up, up and nowhere down. The data tell you. So obviously it will be option 2. This will be option 2. Option B, that means 2 will be the right answer. So here you have to relate the data with graph, nothing else. And if you want good marks, then this much work has to be done by anyone. Now look at question number 6. Again, same question as you saw the previous one. Fill in a blank by selecting the correct option. The study of tourist traveler statistics. Again, statistics means data in the Northeast from 2005 to 2014 showed what kind of result? So as I was telling you that if you study the second paragraph, you will find that the data show that the number of tourists visiting northeastern parts of India is constantly going up, up and up. So if the data is showing that the trend is upward, it is encouraging, it is promising, it is assuring, it is hopeful, and therefore your answer will be B. Now, again, that is the key. Substitute the word witnessed with one word. Very easy question. There are 3-4 words given for the word witnessed in the second paragraph. Already the writer has given you from where you have to write one word. No student can miss this mark, right? So it can be observed, it can be recorded, it can be showed or displayed. Very easy question again. Now look at question number 8. List any 2 examples of tourist facilities as referred to in third paragraph. Again, you don't have to do anything. You have to just read the third paragraph. A number of facilities have been mentioned and you have to quote a few. So hotels, then accommodation like parks, gardens, other facilities you can also add. Question number 9. List one reason why the researchers recommend that the formulation of a tourism strategy in the northeastern states of India be sustainable. Of course, this is a good question. One of the good questions and the students should try. So northeastern states also have some natural resources and then ethnicity, language, culture. So these things need to be protected. So protection of culture, ensure protection of culture I have already given. Ensure protection of culture and ensure minimal intervention in cultural aspects. So it's again very easy. Again, question number 10, not very difficult to understand. Clue is there. Select the option that titles paragraph 1 to 3 appropriately. So when you are reading a paragraph, you can easily summarize it with a hint of the words. So if you are reading the first paragraph, then it is talking about the arrival of tourists. So that is a wind, that is winds of change, because earlier travelers or tourists did not come to the northeastern states of India. Now they are coming, so it's winds of change. numbers don't lie will be the summary of the second paragraph, because a lot of data have been presented in the second paragraph that give you or establish the fact that the growth of tourism in that part of the country is happening. So again, second is summarizing the second paragraph, and the third paragraph is talking about what recommendations or what facilities should be improved so that more and more tourists can visit the states, visit the region, and therefore it is time for action. So again, if you consider the clues left by the question framers, I think 10 or 15 days practice will be enough to boost the confidence that you cannot miss out a single mark from section A, that is reading. But of course, you will need to do practice on good questions, and I would strongly advise you to do practice on my sample paper. 15 question papers are there available at Amazon. You access it and do practice. You will not miss any single mark. Now, after we have done the passage, let me show you how you can get 10 by 10 marks in grammar with a little practice. So let me take you to the grammar section. Now, let us move to section B, grammar. Here you will be given 12 questions, as you can see on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Out of these 12 questions, you have to attempt any 10 as per the instruction that is given at the top of the section. If you ask me how many marks you will be getting from this section, my answer is 10 by 10. The steps, the techniques that I am going to train you will help you score 10 by 10 marks in hardly 2 to 3 minutes. I would suggest you to do any other sample paper just after this video, and you check your marks whether it is going or not. After this class, I will be posting one grammar video, especially some techniques, and you keep that video with you, and then you solve any sample paper and check whether you are scoring 10 marks from grammar section or not. But at present, let me discuss these 12 questions and how you can score 10 by 10 from this one. So look at the first question. The first question is asking you, the climate control comment by an activist, blank space, on social media yesterday. Out of the 4 answers, your answer will be blew up. Now, always ask this question, why? And note down this point. In every such question in which you have to fill an option in the gap, there is a clue word, and the option goes according to that clue word. For example, in this question, the clue word is this. What is this yesterday? So yesterday refers to the past time, and therefore your option will be blew up, which is in the past. Now look at question number 2. This is a direct and indirect speech. After this practice set, I will be posting one video which will contain 2-3 short techniques of tense, subject verb agreement, direct and indirect speech. I would suggest you to keep that video with you and then solve any practice set and check your marks whether you are getting 10 by 10 or not. Presently, let me explain. Dialogue is, doctor is asking a patient, do you feel down from time to time, Mr. Gopalan? And the patient, here in case of the patient, it is Mr. Gopalan. Mr. Gopalan says, yes, I do not stay in a good mood. Now the same dialogue has been converted into a description. The doctor, while trying to figure out his patient's ailment, asked about his well-being, to which the patient affirmed. Now here the option will go according to the patient from here. Now you see, so this word affirmed is replacing the word yes. So your answer will begin from here. I do not stay in a good mood. So patient is affirming, that means giving confirmation that yes. So your correct answer will be yes. The patient affirmed that he does not stay in a good mood is the answer given by CBSE. I repeat, CBSE is giving answer that yes, the patient affirmed that he does not stay in a good mood, but the answer given by CBSE, according to me, is doubtful, because it should be yes, he did not stay in a good mood, because the statement given is in the simple present tense, and a simple present tense statement goes into simple past tense. So I fail to understand why CBSE has given this answer in present. I am clueless here. If I were a student, I would have changed it into yes, affirm that he did not stay in a good mood. So this is beyond my understanding. It's not showing a habit also, it is not showing any universal truth also. So that is a little confusing for me. Now look at question number 3. The advertisement read, if you smoke, statistically your story, blank space, end 15% before it should. The answer will be C. Why the answer will be C? Reason is, your clue word is here. If you smoke is number 1, a conditional clause. And if you refer to time, if you understand the time of this action, it refers to future time. If I say, if you smoke, that means the subject is not smoking. The statement is referring to future time, and therefore the answer will also take to future. So correct answer will be will. Now look at this question number 4. Last week, a child was not allowed to board the plane at Ranchi airport. You have to find out error here. The error is this article, this determinant, the. Why? Because the statement is not talking about a particular plane. This plane is not particular or definite plane. It is talking about any plane. Therefore, A will be the correct answer. Now, let's move to question number 5. And read the question carefully, find out the clue word, and then select the option. I am reading it and showing you. As I was standing on the dock, looking out at the lake for the last time, a feeling of emptiness, blank space, over me like darkness. So your clue word is here. As I was standing on the dock, and this clue word refers to the past time. Now what will be the answer? Obviously your answer will be option D. As you can see, there are 2 options that are given in the past. Option B is also in past and D is also in past. Option D is in simple past. Here it will be simple past. Why? If you want to ask, then you can put a comment if you have any problem. Now question number 6. Fill in the blank by using the correct form of the word in the bracket for the given portion of a letter. Subject, request for approval. Dear sir, this is to respectfully submit that I, blank space, seek approval for organizing a tree plantation drive to be undertaken by the club. Now, you have to write the correct form of the verb seek given within the brackets. Your clue word is this. This is to respectfully submit. And because this main clause refers to present time, the form of the tense will be present. So seek will be the right answer. So the correct answer will be, this is to respectfully submit that I seek approval for organizing a tree plantation drive to be undertaken by the club. And the latter part of the sentence also refers to the coming time, and therefore the correct answer will be seek. Now, let me take you to question number 7. Question number 7 is again based on direct and indirect speech. And you will face problem in such kind of questions. And you also remember that there will be 5 questions based on direct and indirect speech. So if you feel that you are not confident of scoring marks in direct and indirect speech, I would advise you to revise this chapter thoroughly and then watch my video that I will be posting after this session. I will be giving you such a technique that can help you score 5 by 5 marks in 1 hour. At present, I am showing you the answer. In next class, I will be posting a video of a technique that will help you score all these marks. So if you want that, subscribe the channel so that you can get that technique. Let me take you to the question number 7. Grandson, grandpa, who are your superheroes? Grandpa, anyone who knows kindness, anyone who shows kindness and compassion to others. The description goes, in response to the question about his superheroes, grandfather says this point is very, very important. This part that I have highlighted is called the reporting verb in direct and indirect speech. And you must have studied in your school and your teachers must have taught that when the reporting verb is in present tense or in a future tense, then the tense of the reported speech, which will be beginning from here, will remain unchanged. And here you can see the statement made by grandpa is in present tense. So read the description and question very, very carefully. Very, very carefully. Therefore, the correct answer will be, so in response to the question about his superheroes, grandfather says that, just copy the sentence, anyone who shows kindness and compassion to others is his superhero. That will be the correct answer. Now, let me take you to question number 8. Question number 8 is again error, and the question is, in order to balancing the sentiments of the Eagles and the Hawks, the student council suggested a rematch between the teams. So it's very easy. This in order to will be followed by a verb in the basic form. This balancing word is wrong. Why? Because this balancing is a non-finite verb, or we can call it an infinitive. And this infinitive is being preceded by the word to. So it should be balance. You must be knowing to plus basic form of the verb. Now again, question number 9 is based on direct and indirect speech, and I know it very well that you must have solved this question in your class under your teacher. So before I give you the explanation, you try it and then you match your answer with the explanation that I am giving you. So here, information is, Sunil shared some information with Tariq about a holiday at sea. Report Tariq's question. And this question is in the simple past, beginning with did. So what will be the answer? The answer will be, Tariq asked Sunil. That will be the first part. Tariq asked Sunil, and then this part, Tariq asked Sunil, is called reporting verb. Remember, direct and indirect speech has 5 parts, and I will be making the video on these 5 parts so that you can know any question even before you take your sample paper. So direct and indirect speech has 5 parts: reporting verb, conjunction, then pronoun, then verb tenses, and adjectives or adverbs. These are the 5 parts that you have to keep in mind, and the technique that I'll be making will include how to change these 5 parts, and this is what I am going to show you. So Tariq asked Sunil if, conjunction. So here our reporting verb is changing. Tariq asked Sunil in place of shared. Then conjunction will be either if or whether. So Tariq asked Sunil if. Now this he will change according to Sunil. So it will be changed into he. So Tariq asked Sunil if, and again you see verb is in the simple past tense. Did enjoy. So it will change into past perfect tense. So the correct answer will be Tariq asked Sunil if or whether he had enjoyed traveling by sea. That will be your correct answer. Now look at question number 10, and it's easier to do. Here you have to supply a modal verb. We afford to neglect children. Think twice. So the correct answer will be can, because here the use of can is making the statement positive. Can we afford to neglect children means we can't afford to neglect children. And now look at question number 11. Question number 11 tells you again direct and indirect speech, but always remember each question given in the sample question paper is unique in itself. Therefore, you should take care of all the instructions that I am giving here. Dialogue is: Father, why ask so many questions, Lata? Lata, I believe that if you don't know the answer, keep asking till you do. So the description is given: father asked Lata the reason for the many questions she was asking. Lata exclaimed good humoredly that in event of not knowing the answer, one should. Now, because you do not have to write the answer, you have to choose the option. Look at the option very carefully. First of all, the last word of this statement is should. Remember, each and every word matters here, because if you make mistake in a single word, you are going to lose this mark. So be very, very careful. So kept and kept cannot go. So B and D cannot be your answer according to C, should. Now you are left with 2 options. Number 1, A is keep, and number C is keep. Now the correct answer will be A. Why? Because there is another subject here, and that subject is this word one. So this one is singular, therefore does is singular, and here this singular subject is being followed by a plural verb do. Therefore C cannot be the correct answer. So if you want to score 100% marks in grammar section, then you will have to take note of minor thing, and you will have to become a little attentive. But I would suggest you to do your work like this, remaining concentrated, remaining attentive, remaining careful, because a silly mistake will result in losing the marks. Now look at this error finding question. Massive discount for all senior citizens vaccinated with the precautionary dose. The answer will be here. Citizen, what is wrong? Now can you try why it is wrong? Because these 2 words, all, senior, so this determiner all will be followed by a plural noun, and here citizen word is singular, so it should be citizens. So what I tried to explain is this, that a few hours practice in grammar, a few hours, I'm not saying few days, a few hours practice in grammar can give you 10 by 10 marks. And remember, 10 marks means 2% marks on your scorecard, on your certificate that you will be getting finally. So it matters a lot. So you cannot afford to ignore this section. Now let me take you to the writing section. How easy it is to score 90% and above by being a little attentive, by being a little careful. That's all my aim is. Now look at the second question of the creative writing skills, and again it will have two choices, 2A and 2B. You can choose to answer either of two questions. It depends on your choice, but my advice to you will be to do SWOT analysis, because it will be easier to write and you can easily score good marks. I mean, I do not know whether you will be scoring 100% marks or not, but if you manage to arrange and organize the ideas given in the box or in SWOT analysis, you can easily score 100% marks in SWOT analysis question. So of the two questions, I would advise you to attempt SWOT analysis, because you are finding adequate material. What you need to do is to learn how to present. That's all. So I would advise you to do a lot of written practice, and whenever you write an answer, show it to anyone who has some knowledge of English, so that your mistakes, your grammatical errors, organization of thoughts could be rectified before you are going to sit for the final examination. Now read the question carefully and let us understand the demand of the question. The question tells us, Gurmeet Kaur, I am reading from here, you just check it. So Gurmeet Kaur is an aspiring candidate for a public funded engineering college in the suburbs. She belongs to, number one, remember, she belongs to a village. One, has minimum technical skills and exposure. These are her weaknesses. Has the required cut-off percentage. This is her strength. Though Gurmeet Kaur belongs to a village, lacking number two, she has minimum technical skills and exposure, but her advantage is that she has got the required cut-off percentage mark and is looking for a complete or partial scholarship. Now, so analyzing Gurmeet Kaur's advantages or strengths and weaknesses, you have to analyze this paragraph. Write a paragraph in about 100 to 120 words. Keep the word limit in mind. Analyzing her SWOT notes to support your stand whether she should join or not join the college. Remember, so this question can be written in two ways. If you think that Gurmeet Kaur should join the college, then you will be using her strengths. And if you want to highlight the negative side, that Gurmeet Kaur has not much technical knowledge, she comes from a rural background, then you will be going with the points given under weaknesses and threat. Okay, so now what are the strengths? So strong college, quality faculty, vibrant activity clubs, green location, close proximity to residential areas, these are strengths. And if she joins, then she will have these opportunities. She will have the opportunity to do practice-based research. She will be working in partnership with professional organizations. She will have strong alumni, and moreover, she will have acclaimed student exchange program with European countries. So these are again added strengths and opportunities. Her weaknesses will be lack of diversity, students' behavioral problems, maybe at college, no hostel facility, you have to keep it in mind, slow repair and maintenance work, underutilization of IT services, lack of targeted advertisements to out-of-state students, and threat, lack of publicity in areas of excellence, public perception towards funded colleges, declining students' interest towards technical subjects, and low employee morale due to budget cuts. So I think now it will be up to you to choose, but let us see how it is being written. And I am taking you to the answer. Now look at the two paragraphs that are given in answer by CBSE. The paragraph begins, whenever you are going to do the analytical analysis, you have to write a cover-up sentence. So the first sentence will always be a covering sentence, which is this. If you have a print copy, you highlight it. The given information means here, this one. Whatever information has been given by, whatever information is available about Gurmeet Kaur, so you have to mention this first. This will be your covering sentence. So the given information illustrates the options Gurmeet would weigh in order to take the right decision about her admission in a public funded engineering college. So this sentence is going to cover the entire points that are coming. And now, because this paragraph is written in support of the decision, so whatever points you saw there, whatever points you saw are here, main points here. So you take a pen, red or highlighter and highlight these points. So in order to write this part of the paragraph, you do not have to do a lot of work. The only technique that you have to learn is how to use these key phrases in proper sentences, that's all. I think 1 week a 10 days practice is enough to do this question and to score all marks. So already these points are given with availability of strong curriculum. Here you see strong curriculum, then quality faculty. So with availability of strong curriculum, quality faculty and vibrant activity clubs, she will be assured of enriching educational journey. So you have to use these points, the points that are given under strengths and opportunities. And the last sentence that you will see is taking this opportunity will allow her to mend the incorrect public perception towards public funded colleges and students' outlook towards technical subjects. So the last sentence, you can highlight it with different color and write the concluding sentence. In this way, an analytical paragraph will be divided into 3 parts. Part 1 will be the covering sentence. The middle part will include the main points, and the concluding part will include your opinion or conclusion. Now, once you have understood how it is written, then when we go to the weakness and threat side, these will be here. The given information indicates Gurmeet's dilemma about seeking admission in a public funded college, though equipped with a strong curriculum. So here you have to play down the strengths and then you have to highlight the weaknesses and threats. This is what you have to do. And then the last part, So it is recommended that Gurmeet does not apply for admission to the said college. So I would advise you to practice this type of question. I think 1 week's or 10 days practice will be enough for any student to technically score 100% marks. 100% marks. This will be the best option to score 100% marks in English. Now let us see 2B. Again, in this question, or the question is, read the following excerpt from an online post of a website on educational practices. So here also you are provided with adequate material. And the question is, kids who appreciate how much effort, time and care goes into growing food will understand how important farmers are and why it's important to take care of our earth. In the world of today, gardening needs to be given more importance than sports, music and dance in all schools because it creates environmental stewards and outdoor learning laboratories that help the child and community for years to come. So again, in this type of question also, you are provided with enough material. You have to just represent it in your own words and entire marks are yours. Now, here you could think about what alternative explanations might weaken the given conclusion and include rationale, evidence that would strengthen or counter the given argument. That means for this question also you can go for the support or you can write against the given opinion. And the answer given by CBSE is, as you can see, the opening line of this paragraph is also like same. In the world of today, gardening needs to be given more importance than sports, music and dance in all schools. So this sentence has been again taken directly from the question. This is what you have to do. And then the material that I was talking about has been utilized here. So by learning a few techniques how to utilize the material provided by CBSE, by practicing for a few days how to utilize the keywords or material, or you can say important points on a topic, you can easily score 90% and above marks in English. What you need to do is to learn how to present your answer in the most beautiful manner. And again, I would advise you to show your answer to anyone who can rectify your problems, who can check your mistakes, because that is perfection needs to be checked, rechecked, assessed, reassessed. Only then you can be assured. Otherwise, you will feel that you have written the best of your answer, but that answer may not be best according to the evaluator. So consult an expert. Unlike sports, music, again, and the argument against the subject is, gardening certainly should not be given precedence over sports, music, and I would advise you to write your answer in favor, because again you will have to write a counter statement here which may be a little trickier, or it may demand more thinking from your side, which you may not have at this age. No issue. So the best answer that you should do from this category is supporting the argument. So this is how you should practice to enhance your reading skills and writing skills and grammar, and how you can improve your score. Now, let us talk about literature for some time, hardly 15 to 20 minutes. I have written complete answers for the questions provided by CBSE so that you can understand how answers should be written. Now, let us discuss section C, literature. Note that this section is going to give you 40 marks. Means 50% marks of your entire question paper. In this way, this section becomes the most important one. Scoring marks from this section is easier in comparison to the other two sections, reading skills, grammar and creative writing skills. The reason for this is you have been studying literature throughout the session, so you are more prepared for this section than the other two. Secondly, of the 40 marks that you will be getting from this section, 10 marks will be given on the questions based on reference to the context. This section is easier to do. But let me inform you how. Listen to me very carefully. When you are going to sit for the final examination on 27th February 2023, that means the next month, and when you get the question paper in your hand, do not begin writing the answer. First of all, look at the two extracts carefully. For example, this is question number 1 under reference to the context question. So this extract is also given, and look at the second extract. The second extract is also given. So read the two extracts carefully. This extract is given from the book that Saved the Earth, and this extract is from Glimpses of India. Now, when you analyze and see the questions, try to understand which of the two extracts will be easier for you to attempt. Do the easier one. Why? Because you are not going to show your knowledge in the examination hall. You need marks. Marks, marks, marks. So the more marks are being posted on your certificate, the better candidate you will be considered. So in your examination hall, you do not try to show that you are an intelligent student, you have this knowledge, that knowledge, nothing. Simply try to score your marks as easily as possible. For example, let us quickly see the two extracts and compare which of the two is easier to do. So here, and I believe that you must have done this. Hey, let us read out the extract and let us see which of the two extracts is going to be easier. Hey, a tea garden, Rajbir cried excitedly. Pranjal, who had been born and brought up on a plantation, didn't share Rajbir's excitement. Oh, this is tea country now, he said. Assam has the largest concentration of plantations in the world. You will see enough gardens to last you a lifetime. Then Rajbir's statement is, I have been reading as much as I could about tea, Rajbir said. No one really knows who discovered tea, but there are many legends. Now let us see the questions. Why was Pranjal not as excited as Rajbir about the tea gardens? Answer is, he had grown up in and around tea gardens. Already this question is given that he had been born and brought up on plantation. So this is easier to find. Okay, this question is easier to do. Second question is, what does Pranjal mean by saying that Assam has the largest concentration of plantations in the world? Again, this is very easy question. You have to just rephrase it. So he means to say that Assam produces the largest amount of or the largest quantity of tea in the world. That is all. Now, so both the questions are easier to score. Look at question number 3. Question number 3 is, fill in the blank with one word only. Pranjal comes through clearly when he exclaims. So you have to understand this statement. You will see enough gardens to last you a lifetime. So what is the mood like of Pranjal when he is making this statement? So it is clear that he is irritated when Rajbir is speaking all about plantations and tea. So you can say that it is Pranjal's irritation or vexation or annoyance or in CBSE some words are given like frustration, irritation, exasperation. So I think the third question is also easier, means you are getting 3 by 3. Again, question number 4. How, according to Rajbir, does the world know about the discovery of tea? Very simple question. If you remember the story of the Chinese emperor who always used to boil water before drinking, and the story of Bodhidharma. So historical tales. So your answer will be B. So I think 4 by 4 questions are easy to score. Let us have a look at question number 5. Select the option that correctly captures the application of the word cried as used in the line 1 of the extract. Remember this part of the question. As used in line 1 of the extract. So let us see how the word cried has been used in line 1 of the extract. Hey, a tea garden. Rajbir cried excitedly. So this cried has been used as an exclamation of delight or happiness. See here, hey, a tea garden. So Rajbir is watching a tea garden in front of him, and seeing the tea garden, he is very happy, he is very excited. So it is expressing his happiness. So you have to find out the word. Answer B will be the correct answer, because Jaspreet cried out loud when she saw a white tiger in the sanctuary. So this statement, the meaning of the word cried here is showing Jaspreet's excitement, or you can say happiness, to see the white tiger in the sanctuary. So now I feel that if you attempt this question, it will be easier for you to score 5 by 5. If you find it difficult in the first extract, in the second extract, then this one is easier. But let us compare the second one. This extract has been taken from the book that saved the earth, and let us quickly go through it, how the questions have been set. So omega, it shall be done. Sir, remove vitamins. So crew takes vitamins from boxes on their beds. Present vitamins. So they hold vitamins out in front of them stiffly. Swallow vitamins. They pop the vitamins into their mouths and gulp simultaneously. They open their eyes wide, their heads shake, and they put their hands to their foreheads. Think tank says, excellent. Now decipher that quote. All, it shall be done, sir. So they frown over the book, turning pages. And then omega, aha, iota, oho, and oop, ha ha ha. Think tank. What does it say? Tell me this instant. Transcribe omega. So this is the extract, and let us see what kind of questions have been set on this extract. Question number 1. So select the option that correctly captures the usage of the word present from line 1 of the extract. So let us see line 1 of the extract. Line 1 of the extract. So line 1 of the extract is present vitamins. So here the word present has been used as a verb because it says present vitamins. The word present can be used in many different ways. It can be used as a noun, it can be used as an adjective, and that is why it is the application of. So option A, oops, received a nice present. So here present is a gift. It cannot be the answer. Iota needs to present his opinion formally. It will be the answer because present has been used as a verb here. Omega must focus on the present and leave the past behind. So here present is talking about present time, and oops didn't know anyone even though a crowd was present, means gathered. So I think the questions given under the first extract are easier in comparison to this extract. Now look at question number 2. Complete the analogy by selecting the suitable word from the text. So frown and smile both are opposite to each other. So here it is gloomily. So gloomily means sadly. So it should be brightly or happily. So this is analogy. Again, this question is more difficult in comparison to the earlier questions. So I would suggest you to go for the first one if you find such kind of extracts. Question number 3. Select the option that displays the reason why all crew members were asked to have vitamins. So here you have to give reasons why. They were asked to have display the reason why all crew members were asked to have vitamins. Reason number 1, boost their physical energies, to adapt to their circumstances, and then you have quickly turn all the pages, accomplish a specific task. So answer will be specific to accomplish or complete a specific task, because they were asked to decipher the meaning. But this question I find a little more difficult than the questions given under the first extract. So I would advise you to go for the first one. Now look at question number 4. According to the extract, what did think tank most likely want Omega to do when he said transcribe? So transcribe, said transcribe. So transcribe means to read aloud, and also means to decode something. But here you have to give it in the given given context. So this question will be number 2, translate. So number 2 and number 4. So answer will be your B part. So comparatively, these questions are a little more difficult than the questions given under extract 1. Now the playwright places certain words and sentences in brackets in the given extract. List any ways these benefit both the director and actors. So you must have seen that here, if you look at the extract, some words are given here in bracket. Here brightly has been given in bracket, then brightly has been given in bracket also, and bursting into laughter has also been given within brackets. So why are these words given within brackets? You have to explain the reason, right? So the reason to this is that these words given within brackets help the reader or actors, directors, to gain clarity, to understand the emotions and feelings of the characters clearly. So you can say these 2 reasons. Now again you have 2 extracts. One is from the trees and the other is from for Annie Gregory. So of course, if you have to choose one of the 2 extracts, so you apply the same method, you apply the same strategy. You attempt the extract that you feel, that you find easier to do. I repeat, easier to do. Let us understand which one is easier to do. So let us read the extract and then do the question so that you can understand the difficulty level of each of the extracts. So the trees inside are moving out into the forest that was empty all these days, where no bird could sit, where no insect hide, no sun bury its feet in shadow. The forest that was empty all these nights will be full of trees by morning. Now, so given on this extract, you have the first question, complete the sentence appropriately. And the sentence is, it is clear that personification is the poetic device used for no sun bury its feet. Because, now you explain how personification applies here. So here you have to show how personification applies here. So here it is given that no sun bury its feet. So sun is being given, the sun is being given human attribute, means the sun has been treated as a human being. Therefore, we can say that the sun has been given human attribute, therefore it is personification. Now, look at question number 2. The poet has used a poetic device in the given lines. What effect does she wish to create by its use? No bird could sit, no insect hide, no sun. So here the word no, no, no. So whenever a word is repeated, always remember it is emphasis. So here it is emphasis. So these questions are not easier, of course. Let us see the third question. State whether the following statements is true or false. The extract uses trees as a symbol for conservative people. Is it true or false? It is false because trees have been used for human beings and that also for women. If you have read, and why if you have read, you must have read. So the extract, the word trees refer to or symbolize people and especially female. So it's false. Now look at question number 4. Select the appropriate option to complete the sentence according to the extract. The idea of a forest that has been empty all these days is what? It's unnatural. It's unnatural. It's unnatural. So it should be unnatural. Now look at the 5th question. 5th question is, how does the use of enjambment impact this extract? So enjambment impacts this extract. So it is this is building momentum. Enjambment is a literary device that continues to the next sentence also. So it gives momentum to the extract. So these questions are standard questions. Let us see whether the questions set below this extract are better or easier for you to do or not. So the extract is, but I can get a hair dye and set such color there, brown or black or carrot, that young man in despair may love me for myself alone and not my yellow hair. What is the question? The first question is, what is the poet's tone in the extract? So what is the tone of the poet? Thoughtful, authoritative, agitated, insulting, argumentative. So the thought of the poet is of course agitated. So agitated is number 1 and he is giving argument. The poet is giving argument that I can get a hair dye. So when this extract is being presented, the speaker is arguing. So argumentative and agitated. So 3 and 5 will be your correct answer. That means B. Look at question number 2. What causes the young man to despair according to the extract? So as the extract tells us that so far as the young man is concerned, he doesn't fall in love with the young girl because of her inner beauty or inner quality. He falls in love because of her beautiful yellow hair. So you can say being hopelessly in love, or being in one-sided love, or being in a love that is uncertain whether it will be responded or replied by the girl or not. So that will be the answer. So you need to prepare a little. Identify the reason for the speaker's need to color her hair as per the extract. So what? So the speaker thinks that her inner beauty will make the young man to love her. So that means option, her conviction that she is beautiful inside and therefore there is no need for her to beautify her hair. So this will be your answer. Option 4. Complete the analogy about the speaker's hair. Yellow is blonde. Then what will be the carrot? So carrot can go with orange or red color here. And last question, question number 5 is, select the sentence in which the word set is used in the similar manner as line 2 of the extract. So line 2 of the extract is, line 2 of the extract is this. Have a look. But I can get a hair dye and set such color there. Set such means I can color my hair with such color. So answer should be C should be the answer. The dessert needs to set for 2 hours before being served. Now, so if we compare the questions given under the first extract and the questions given under the second extract, I feel that the earlier questions, that means the questions given under the first extract are easier in comparison to this one. So you attempt the extract that is a little easier in comparison to the other, because when you are sitting for your final examination, then you have only one aim, you have only one purpose, and that purpose is scoring higher marks. And now let me take you to question number 6 and 6, 7, 8 and 9. I am not going to show you how you have to write the answer, but I am going to show you what you should do in such a way that catches the evaluator's attention. So let me discuss it with reference to these questions, question number 6, 7, 8 and 9. Now, let us discuss short answer type questions that will be given under question 6. So, it reads, answer any 4 of the following in about 40 to 50 words each, and each question will be of 3 marks. So, 4 into 3 will be equal to 12. Now, before I tell you anything, listen to me very carefully how you can score maximum marks in these type of questions. When you are going to sit for the final examination on 27th February next month, you have to keep it in mind that you will not be the only student who will be sitting for the examination. Like you, there will be lakhs and lakhs of students. Number 1. Number 2, the evaluator does not know you. So the only link between you and the evaluator is your answer sheet. So the better your answer sheet looks, the chances for the evaluator to see it thoroughly will be greater. Now, how can you make your answer special or look better? Number 1, look at the answer sheet, the answers that I have prepared for you. These answers are to be written on a notebook, and you have to read it 2-3 times. These answers are not answers, actually these are samples for you, how you should answer and how you should practice at your home. So note down each of these answers, and as you can see, I have done something. Remember 3 things about these answers. Number 1, no word, no sentence written in your answer should be extra or additional. Point number 1. Point number 2, your answer must be in context with or in line with the question given. And number 3, even if your answer is in the context to the question, highlight the keywords, because the evaluator does not have the time to read each and every word, each and every sentence that you write in your answer. So I have written each question here. For example, how you have to write your answer in context, how you can avoid writing unnecessary sentences, and what are the keywords, key phrases that you should highlight. If you want training or if you want to learn something like this, first of all get a copy of my book, and then I will be posting some lectures on my sample paper presenting like this. I hope this will help you a lot. So it's all from my side.